Hello. I've come to share a little project with you, and I'm sorry this is already part way through. The problem, I'm going to put that aside. I said something which was very, very innocent, but it really made me giggle, and I know I haven't got time to edit, so I'm going to have to just start from the beginning. I hadn't got very far through. I'm doing a little project for 3 reasons. The first reason is I just needed to do some craft today. I just needed to do something a little bit crafty. I had to do something particular this morning, and I just wanted to do something, just something crafty this afternoon. Second of all, some of you will know I have been challenged to create a shabby chic journal. Not up my street at all. It's like Michele Scott and frogs. You know, we just don't mix. But I do kind of like shabby, and some people had posted images of some tags that they'd recreated after watching the lovely Gina from Firefly Studios. Should probably try and slow down when I say that. And after making my little paper bags yesterday, I was in the mood to make some bags or pockets, whatever you would like to call these. And I've used that technique kind of to make some, I've made these out of wax paper, these 2. And it's a little design team project also for the lovely Mrs Cog. And I've used the fabulous Beautiful Women kit. It's awesome. I don't know if you can see these images, but they are absolutely stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to kind of show you how I created these, but please do go and watch Gina's original video because it's amazing. So I've just basically made some little basic paper bags or pockets out of some music paper and some wax paper. Very, very simple. And it's a case of layering, quite a lot of layering. This one I've already inked because I was doing that when I said something inappropriate. And it wasn't inappropriate, it was perfectly innocent. This is what I've decided to use as my first layer, and it's a fly page from a book that I've been taking apart. Now, it's much easier to ink this before you screw it up. That's all I'm going to say. So ink first, screw it up second, because it's quite difficult to ink once you get a kind of mess like this. Now this is gorgeous because this is like I said, it's a vintage book page, so it's going to rip. The other one has done exactly the same. I've got a piece under here and that's all ripped under there as well, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So that's my step 1. That's the first thing I'm adding. Now, I don't think Gina did this as far as I can recall. I think she may have done in one of the later tags because she made a few. I'm going to add some fabric to this. Now, I've got one already with fabric underneath the book page. So this one I want to do the other way around. I don't want them all to be kind of samey. So I'm going to give this a rip. I'm gonna just rip this piece out of here, I think. I'm getting a bit of a head cold. It's that horrible time of year here in the UK. Actually, it might need to be that piece because that's smaller. But these are a bit addictive to make. They are very, very fun. And I'm gonna just shabby this up. So if someone would like to tell me how to get the chic in my shabby, I would really appreciate it, because I've started watching videos and it's just, oh, I don't know. Give me nature any day. Now I'm actually going to ink this a little bit. You don't have to be particularly careful when you're going for this kind of look either, so that's awesome. Definitely need something else under this, and you know, I think, oh, sorry, hope I didn't make you too seasick. I think I'm going to add a nice big piece of cheesecloth, it's just nice to do something that's not for something. You know, it's not for... I'm just going to try and move my chair over because my head is so close to my pole. Okay, right. Yeah, it's nice to do something that's not for something. You know, this is not for a journal necessarily that I'm working on. It may well go into a journal that I'm working on, but it's not for a journal that I'm working on. I've got some... I got stuck to that. That's a piece of dried Fabri-Tac. Okay, I'm just going to spread that out. Stick this on. I still think it needs a little something. I've got to, sorry. I'm hoping my camera adjusts to the light because the sun is slowly moving round and it's so bright and so hot. It's absolutely freezing outside, but it's so hot if when the sun comes through the window. Yeah, I think I'm going to go over there. The trick with this is when you actually glue. How you glue it down. Just give this a screw up. Scrunch it. I quite like it quite tight. The scrunch is quite tight, but then as soon as I lay it down to glue it, it seems to straighten out quite a bit. And I know that's my fault, but I'm kind of trying. Okay, so I think we'll go that down the edge, that there, and we'll pick an image so we know. Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to use them all eventually. I think those ones are a bit small. I'm kind of leaning towards this. I love that red in there. Okay, I think this is that enough? I don't know, actually. I've got this kind of scrap of embossed, something got embossed. Now I wonder, these do get quite bulky. So, wonder if I should do even more layers on this one. Yeah, they do get quite bulky, but the effect is just so cute. Maybe I don't need quite so much of that to give it a... I think I might even have a piece. I'm wondering whether... I'll tell you what, we'll do this one, and then if we've got time, which it looks like we're doing quite well. I'm actually moving fairly quickly for me. Now this I'm not going to wrinkle quite so much because this does weather, and that's why it's obviously gone in the reject pile because some of the embossing has kind of come through. Yeah, yep. Maybe. Yep. Maybe have that sticking out a little bit further over the left. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip that over and I'm going to start... Sorry, that's on silent. I don't know why that keeps doing that. There we go. It wasn't on silent at all. I'd obviously had it on silent and turned it off. Turned the volume back on. Got it backwards. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's get the cheesecloth down. And I can trim off little bits of cheesecloth and bits that hang over the edge later. That's not a problem. Now I'm going to kind of glue this over here. Now the trick is to not, that I've discovered, not to put glue too close to the edge, but because the inside is going to have something on top of it, I am going to stick glue fairly close to that edge, but not the outer edge. I'm not putting glue too close to the outer edge, is what I'm trying to say there. And I'm going to try and get that to glue, even though it's all wrinkled up. and I will come back in with the ink in a bit and just kind of, what I do is just kind of scrunch it a little bit while it's on the page, while it's kind of drying. So we've managed to keep a few little creases in there. Now I'm going to put plenty of glue around this rip, but again not too close to the edges. It's kind of just a scribble of glue. But it looks amazing on tags, but I just think it's also awesome for pockets. And you could work this straight into a journal. You could do this kind of technique, this scrunching technique, straight into a journal if you wanted. And then we kind of get this little curl up bit where it's screwed up in the middle. It's just waiting for the glue to dry. Okay, so I want this glued all the way to the top of this, but not the bottom. And that's going to hang out slightly over here. It's a little bit more difficult to kind of scrunch and wait for this to dry. But we can add some creases. It's definitely a skill, this this scrunchy, shabby technique. I'm not convinced I've got the the skill to do this technique. I'm even more concerned about the whole shabby chic. So like I said, if anyone's got any kind of insight as to what on earth shabby chic actually is, because, you know, I don't know. Right, just going to give this a good old ink around the edge. I do love that red turban. This is very, very much like the girl with the pearl earring. It has a very similar feel, doesn't it? Beautiful. Okay, home straight. Oh, I've got some strings of glue. Right, now I've got glue on my fingertips. I do not want to get it on the picture. This one would actually look really cool with a word. Don't have any at the minute, but I might add some at a later date. So that's that one. I'm actually really pleased with that. There we go. So that's another one. Now I've got this smaller one, which I would like to use one of these two images on, because I kind of like, they've both got that kind of burnt orange, which I love. And I have a total of about 10 minutes before my daughter comes home from school, and I think that's probably about when the camera will run out. So there we go. Thank you to everyone who's contacted me about the Traveller's Notebooks. Yes, they did all sell. People have obviously, you know, I think I said in the video, well, I hope I said in the video that they were going to be on the on Etsy when the video went live, but people were actually waiting, and I felt really bad. Maybe I didn't say. Maybe it was the previous take, because like most of my videos, nothing ever gets done first time. And I have got a little tip for you, and this is actually really important. If you are buying anything online, and I recommend this for everybody and everything, not just Etsy, and not just digital kits, please read the description of the item you are buying. It is really important, because the seller is giving you important information to help you for whatever reason that might be. So for example, I sold my shades kit in two sizes, Traveller's Notebook size and A5 size, and the very first line, I thought, at the top of the description where you can see, it says in very large letters, please do not purchase the mini embellishments kit, because that mini embellishments kit was included in the main kit. And I've had to take it off sale because so many people I refunded. Nobody asked for a refund. You know, nobody asked for a refund, but I did refund everybody who'd purchased both kits. And, you know, I've had to take the mini embellishment kit off sale, which is a shame because people may only want to buy the mini embellishments, and that's now not an option. So I can't really see a way around it at the moment. Because I don't have time to kind of refund lots of people, which is a real shame. But yeah, it's not just that, you know, there is always important information in that description box, so please don't buy anything without reading what you're buying, you know, or the information that the seller finds important for you to read. I always do. Whatever I'm buying, I always read the description. Not just on Etsy, everywhere. Okay. Let's have a look what we have. I really want to use some more fabric because I'm loving the fabric on these. This is a thinner piece of calico, I think. Yeah. This is more of a linen kind of. This is a thinner. This may even be a thicker muslin. $100 question, isn't it? $1,000 question, $1 million question, whatever it is. What's the phrase? Is it $1 million question? I don't know. Or is it $100? I'm not sure. So I really do feel like I'm just talking to myself now, being a complete muppet, as usual. Okay. I think I might go. Do I want to go fabric first? No, because that'll cover most of that up. Right, I'm going to go. This is kind of that's from that photo album that I'm loving. That's a kind of handmade paper. So I'm going to have these slightly overlapped. And I'm going to have that. I'm going to decide which image. This is a bit too square at the moment, isn't it? Square. Let's try just put a little bit more of this. Use a bit more of this up. So I'm glad I kept this because it did go. It had more holes in it than Swiss cheese, but it was pretty, and I didn't want to just throw it away. Give that a good old wrinkle. Maybe I'll go on top on this one. Maybe. So difficult, isn't it? Because we all have our kind of preferred, yeah. Though I don't know about that fabric now. I don't want it to be too uniform, but I think I'm going to trim a little bit more of this off. Maybe a bit more than that. That really wasn't much of a trim, was it? No, neither was that. I'm going to have to cut it. Try not to cut it too square. And give this a fray. Yeah, my nails. 3 weeks, she said they would last. 3 weeks. That was craft knife related, so I was quite lucky that I had this thick old gel stuff on my fingers, because I think the gel protected my actual finger from the craft knife. And they're just like, they've grown up so much. You know, I just need them done again. But I suppose that's one of those things, once you start this, you have to keep it up. And I'm not really a girly girl, but must admit I'm quite liking having a bit nail varnish on. Right. That's a bit better, isn't it? Liking that. Right, so I'm just going to flip it over and do the same thing again. And you must be bored by now, just watching me wrinkle up pieces of paper. Oh, I didn't wrinkle that one. It went that way. I don't know what's happened. I think I've got droopy poles because I've usually got a little bit more headroom than I've got right now. Maybe they're sticking out a bit too far, so the weight of the camera is drooping them more than usual. I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, I'm making some more traveller's notebooks with the mini kits because I actually had several people ask if they were still for sale, and of course they're not. And a couple of people want to order, so I will be making a few more of those. I'm not sure if I'm just going to make the 2 that have been asked for, or whether I'm going to make any more. But if I really want to do, I've got this absolutely awesome book that I really want to make some traveller's notebooks out of, kind of basic ones like these, because I don't want to ink the pages. The pages are just so lovely. I don't want to do something where I've got to ink. So I might do a couple of those as well. There might be some people out there that will like the theme. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I might actually do the notebooks and think they look awful. Because that often happens, doesn't it? We think of a project and go, that's just going to be amazing, it's going to be awesome, and then you do it and you think, actually that's a bit pants. It's quite difficult to keep these creases in the paper. I've got a few around here, that's okay. Is this part of it? No, that's not part of it, is it? Didn't have that in it. A bit more wrinkle. It's very kind of, like I said, a lot of holes in this. I really do feel like I'm talking to myself today. Quite often I feel like I am talking to you, you know, I'm actually talking directly to you, because it just feels like that sometimes. But today I just feel like I'm talking to myself. Maybe that's because no one's going to watch, and it's like a premonition. Maybe. No, I'm certainly talking a load of rubbish anyway. It's kind of been a day like that. It's because I've been on my own all day. I have 4 days where I have people around and things going on, and then on a Tuesday I almost feel like I've been a bit neglected. Like, I don't know, like I'm not sure, like I'm lost because I'm suddenly on my own. I'm just going to turn that over and give that a little push down. Finally covered my desk. It only took me, I don't know how long, to finally cover that nasty MDF. I purchased some oil stain to do it, and you have to leave it for 24 hours to dry between coats, and MDF would take about 4 coats, and I can't be without a desk for that long, so I bought plastic tablecloth and used carpet tape, which is awesome. I'm loving it. I really am. It's like £3 for a brand new desk. Can't go wrong. So I think that's it. I think we're done. How long have we been? 23 minutes. Fab. So these are the little bags, stroke and pockets that we've made for the lovely Mrs Cog's Beautiful Women design team project. I'm a little bit in love with them. I do love them. Just show you them close up. Beautiful, beautiful. And these would all work with different kits. You could, you know, this would go brilliantly in like a bohemian journal. I love this. This is my favourite. This is absolutely my favourite. It's a very kind of Vermeer kind of feel to this. I wonder if that is a Vermeer. I don't know. I know most of his stuff. So there we go. I'd like to send out a massive, massive thank you to the wonderful Gina for coming up with this idea, and for everybody who made tags that kind of inspired me to have a little go and try and shabby up. I will be back at least one more time this week, if not 2. And thank you again so much for watching and listening to me rabbit on today. And rabbit on means talking a lot, for those of you that don't know UK language, but it is it's a proper phrase, I promise you. I will see you all soon.